Awesome Sauce Network's coverage of Computex 2016 has been overclocked by Gigabyte, Fantex, CableMod, and G.Skill, making the contents of this video highly unstable. Click the links in the description for more info.
What's up, guys? I'm now here at the Zotac booth. This is Computex Day 3, although I'm probably uploading all this stuff out of order, so that probably shouldn't have been said. However, I'm taking a look right now at their Magnus EN980. Now, this is basically a little mini PC, but don't be fooled by its size. It's actually packing some pretty hefty hardware. So basically what we're rocking here is a Core i5-6400. We are rocking Skylake, 16 gigs of DDR3. Actually, that's DDR3L, I believe. Yes, at 1600. And we've also got a GTX 980, full desktop graphics. So we're not dealing with a mobile processor here. So it's actually going to be able to deliver all the frame rates you might need for high-end gaming experience. And also, if you look over here, it's completely water-cooled. The CPU and the GPU are both water-cooled, which is pretty awesome. So you're going to be able to overclock without, actually overheating or thermal throttling, things like that. So it's got a pretty hefty-looking configuration here. And they've done a really nice job keeping it super compact. You also have an M.2 slot. It is still SATA, so they don't have the PCIe integration yet. But you got an M.2, you've also got room for an SSD. The one it comes with, I believe, is 120 gigs. You can upgrade both your storage configuration and your memory, no problem, just by opening up the box with a few screws. But equally exciting, if not more so, about this product is that it's actually using the same internals that's going to be going into Zotac's VR Backpack, which is basically going to be great for playing VR without any kind of tethering from your freaking headset, which is really annoying. We actually checked this out at the MSI booth recently, and they had their own version of this, but it was a larger kind of like hard shell case. Zotac has taken a completely different approach here and made it more like a backpack like this, kind of more of a fabric design. And that keeps it a little bit lighter and also more comfortable in my opinion. Now, of course, they haven't done a complete transfer of the Magnus EN980 into the Zotac backpack, which right now doesn't have a name. So instead of water cooling, they've stuck with air cooling for the backpack just because, I don't know, lots of movement and water cooling don't really mix all that well. They've also kind of rearranged the innards to make it a lot flatter to fit in a backpack design. Battery time right now is, well, we can't really go into detail about the battery because Zotac is still trying to find a good battery vendor to work with to bring this thing to the market. So we don't know exactly what the game time is. Right now, the version that they're rocking is anywhere from 1 to 2 hours of game time, which is pretty good. I actually pitched them the idea of having hot swappable batteries, so instead of having to charge it, charge the lithium-ion battery every time it dies, you can just swap them out for uninterrupted gameplay, which I think would be a really cool idea. Also, they didn't really have the holsters on the backpack like we saw at the MSI booth, which I also thought they should implement. So altogether, pretty cool stuff here, but we also have some stuff with graphics. So this is the GTX 1080 AMP Edition and AMP Extreme. So the AMP Edition is going to be a little bit more cost-friendly. It's not got quite all the bells and whistles, but it's still a really powerful card. It's got 2 large fans over a pretty beefy heatsink, and you do have RGB LEDs that are supported by the Firestorm software from Zotac. So you've got LEDs pretty much on the AMP Edition on the front. You've got 2 little accents on the front, and then you've got the Zotac branding at, I guess, the other front of the card. You can see this is a custom PCB design because there are 2 8-pin PCI connectors, so it's going to be great for overclocking. A very nice backplate. It's kind of a brushed aluminum. It's got sort of an anodized gray as well as some yellow accents right there. But altogether, a really solid piece of hardware. Standard display I/O on the back there. And then moving on to the AMP Extreme. This is obviously their more high-end version. We've got 3 fans here. They are a bit smaller, but you do have a third one, and they do have kind of like a nice, sharper design, which I really like the aesthetic there. You can also see it is also featuring RGB LEDs, both on the front. There's a little push the limit icon that will light up, as well as Zotac on the faceplate of the card, and as well as the backplate. So the push the limit logo will actually light up in whatever color you choose, and the push the limit and the other RGB LEDs on the card can be controlled independently of each other. So if you wanted to switch it up and actually have multiple colors all around this card, you could do so. Again, 2 8-pin PCIe connectors, so you're going to be getting some excellent power delivery to overclock this thing, and just look how friggin' beefy this thing is. So it is a 2-slot card, however the thickness of the cooler almost reaches 3 slots, so you're gonna have to keep that into consideration when trying to find this space for this in your case. Don't really have much else to say here at this point for Zotac. Keep an eye out for these cards. They're gonna be launching very soon, and that's gonna do it for now. Be sure to also check out the links in the description below for my sponsors. Thank you, huge shout out to Gigabyte, Fantex, G.Skill, and CableMod. I'll see you guys in the next one.